You got anyone on? What's this thing spinning? Anyone on? Hello, everyone. Anyone on? Anyone in the chat? No one on the chat. It's 4:30. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. No one chiming in yet. Me. Hold on. You got anyone? Anyone jumped in? No one chiming in. Someone chime in. Hold on, does this work? Hello, everyone. Ooh, that ain't good. Oh, I see a problem. Uh-oh. Yep, I see a problem. Chat is... Okay, we got a whole bunch of people. Good. I got Seagull, I got Bunny, I got Book of Portals. Hey, hello. Apple Fan 420. Hey, good to see you again, Mommy. Okay, you know the drill. Audio check, mic check. Now, video check. Hello, Tundra. Okay, we got Apple Fan 420 here. We got Book of Portals. Hey, Eddie. Hey, Code. We got Natural Season, Union. We got Seagull. Okay. Alright, how do we sound? Audio check, check 1, 2. Video, we look good, sound good? Sound good? Let me get, uh-oh. All good, alright. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. This is only episode 2 of Introduction to Security, offered by Tufts University. I'm Ming Chow, Associate Teaching Professor. Actually, muscle memory. I'm a teaching professor now. No more associate. Today's pretty dense, and some folks may have actually noticed that I have a few browser tabs opened, and one of them happens to be what a lot of people are now talking about called DeepSeek. And we'll talk a little bit about this today. But today, we're gonna play Spyworks. Yes, we're gonna play Spyworks. We're all going to do something called Reconnaissance. Really? That's that related to Spyworks? Of course it is, of course. Now, get information gathering, intelligence gathering. Very important part of cybersecurity. How important is it? It's generally step 1 to, if you have a target, you want to gather as much information about them before you go guns a-blazing and, quote unquote, hack away, what they call pwn all things. The first thing I want to introduce to you all is, I'm going to post a link, I can send links on chat still, very good, is this model, better known as the cyber kill chain. Yes. Now, here's the thing. Many of the terminologies in cybersecurity derive from military, and for very good reasons. The cyber kill chain, what it is a framework. It was developed by Lockheed Martin. So what it is, what the cyber kill chain is, this is a framework or a model to understand what attackers are doing. The process. You may be wondering why. The reason is, in order to be a good defender or to be a good cybersecurity practitioner, you have to understand the mindset of the adversaries, the attackers. And what these cyber kill chain is a model for not only identification but also prevention of cyber intrusion activities. There are 7 steps to this cyber kill chain. Is to understand adversaries, attackers, techniques, and procedures. Okay, and this is 7 items. There are 7 steps in the kill chain. Number 1 is reconnaissance, information gathering, email address, conference information, social media content. Now, one thing is, and I want to give a little war story, reconnaissance can be both high tech and low tech. Of course, we're going to talk about high tech because that's the age that we live in. But do not underestimate the power of low tech, such as searching through someone's dumpster. Back in the days, I mean, when banks were closing left and right, banks would just actually be dumping away, so like reams and reams of sheets of bank record containing account numbers, social security numbers, you name it. Now I can also say this happens a lot. I see this a lot. There's a lot of GameStops out there that have been closing recently. And what happens is there's been people going to dumpsters to not only find, uh, uh, furniture, display features, old games that people didn't buy, but also people's records and other equipment. Okay, so reconnaissance, high tech and low tech. There is weaponization. Build an exploit with a backdoor into a little payload. There is the delivery of the weaponized bundle to a victim. I mean, this is like sending the spam, sending malware, sending an exploit to someone, which actually leads to step number 4 is exploitation, exploiting vulnerabilities to execute code on a victim system, installation of malware on asset, command and control for remote manipulation of victim, and actions on objectives. How to cave also like do things like maintain access. So 7 steps in this cyber kill chain framework. In this course, we're going to focus heavily. We're going to do a lot of reconnaissance. We're going to do exploitation. We're not going to do installation and command and control. But we're going to do certainly reconnaissance today, exploitation later on in this course. Okay, so what is reconnaissance? How do you gather information about target? I already did that. But today we're going to actually work with a real target. I'm going to need my terminal later on. Now, can you all see, here is I'm going to open up an instance of Visual Studio Code so I can write notes and stuff. So, I am going to give you all, shut up. Oh, yes. The target that we're going to work with now here's the thing. Don't do a damn thing on your computers yet. Let's not bang away. We are going to work with a real target today. Target IP address. Let's not do anything yet. Target IP address 18.116.87.199. That is a real IP address. That is a target. Okay, yes, that is a real IP address. That is a target. Now, I want to ask you the question. What information do you want to gather about this? Let's talk it out first. What information do you want to gather about a target? Like what information? I didn't say why or how. No, what information do you want to gather about this target? Okay, so I got, a bunch of natural seasons. Country location. Union said, Union got any password? Okay, what else do we got? Who the IP? For lumping company for Seagull, natural season, who owned the IP. Benny Bory says, open ports. Okay. Anything else? Okay, Boy said open port. King 22704 said communication and email. Ooh. I think I got a lab exercise on this one. Not the one on packet analysis, but something else. Oh shit. You know what a decoy is, right? A decoy is a fake system or a trap. Ooh, any firewall? What else? What else? I like this. This is a good list so far. Very good list. Very strong list. So get information we want to gather about this target. Country location, password. Who owns the IP address? Who does the IP like? Who does the IP address belong to? The company. Any open port. Any communications email. Is this a real IP address or a decoy? Is it any firewall? Anything else you want to add to this? I'll throw one in. The target even up and running at the moment. Okay. Ooh, I like that. Device type. You can even add operating system. Ooh. Yeah. Is there a reason why I want to run who is on the IP address? My terminal just. Yeah. There may be. There's a couple of reasons why. It depends what network you're on your computer. If you actually go to like another network or you go to like another, like if you're on Wi-Fi, change Wi-Fi, then actually change it to a different thing. The other reason why you may actually get a timeout if you have any firewalls, happened to me a few times, is the target even worth it? Okay, what else? Here's another obvious one. Well, it actually goes into the whole idea of open ports is what software is the target running? Okay. Yeah. I like that. I like that. The ISP, the Internet Service Provider. Company ISP, Internet Service Provider. I like that. Yeah, Caboni, Cabon. But yeah, I mean, is a target even worth it? Yeah. Country location, the big one. Okay. I think I think we have enough information here. I think this is a lot of good questions that a lot of things that we can query. This is a lot of information that we can gather for today until 5:45. Country location, any password, credentials, who the IP address belongs to, company, open port, communication. Yeah, is this address even worth it? Is this a real target or is this a trap of some sort? Is there any firewalls running? Is there a target even up and running? You can talk about device type and system. How do we know? Oh, yeah. Yeah, so Tom Ion is like, and the IP address is not real. That's a very, very good question because how do you know that a target is not using a VPN? Um, you can actually lump that into like who the IP address belongs to, and also what software the target is even running. Um, so let's stop there. So this is a lot of really good information that we want to gather about a target. Today I want to introduce you four tools that you probably want to, actually four tools that you want to use when you are gathering information about a target. Now, let's let's state the obvious here. Let's state the obvious. So one of the things in the first lab of this course, when you're doing, when we did the first lab and the command line, one of the questions was, actually a series two questions was, I gave you an IP address. Where is the computer? Where is the computer with that IP address located in what country? And then, of course, the following question was what's the previous command? what did you use to determine the location of the computer? And I saw that like Tundra, you ran Whois. So the first thing is that, you know, when you see a target IP address, one of the most valuable tools that you want to use to gather any information about a target IP address is Whois. So if you do a man Whois, so Whois is the Internet Domain and Network Number Directory Service. So what it is, Whois is a utility that looks up records. It's a data. Whois is a database, a series of databases maintained by a whole bunch of network information centers. So all you need to do to use Whois is just type in the command Whois space and then the IP address, and it will give you a whole blast of information. In this case, if we run a Whois on 18.116.87.199, we can, oh dear, we get a lot of information. Whois is a gold mine of information for not only for public, but for both good and bad purposes. So as you can see, now that I have actually run Whois on this target IP address, you will see that the IP address is owned by, well, Amazon, AWS. Whois also provide geographic location to some degree. In this case, we're talking about Seattle, Washington. Email addresses on who to contact, phone numbers. I mean, these are all valuable information. Look at all the abuse reports, like source IP, destination port. Oh yeah. Even sometimes URLs. There's a lot. This is a gold mine of information. This is a gold mine of information that you can use for both good and for bad. So, did we learn anything about Whois? Yes, Whois gives you back a lot of like information, namely about like who the IP address belongs to. I think this is solved. We can say this is solved. The country location is somewhat solved, but the one issue with Whois, and if you want to get like really specific, if you really want to zone in on the exact location, Whois is not going to give you that. Okay? Whois is not going to give you the actual like geolocation of where the server or where the target is actually located. It can give you some information. In this case, is like Amazon is headquartered in the United States, but that's about it. It's not going to say, oh, this IP address is actually on the East Coast or the West Coast. It doesn't get that specific. Okay, so at least right now, the Whois give you really basic information about like who the IP address belongs to, whether it's a company or an ISP. Okay, now we also know this is a real IP address. Okay, this is an Amazon AWS IP address. So we kind of got this. As well. But we didn't actually determine if it's a decoy or not. But it didn't say it was in Seattle. No, it did say it was in Seattle. No. So here's the issue. Now, Tundra said something very important. Amazon headquarters, AWS headquarters, is in Seattle, Washington. It did say it's in Seattle, Washington. But is that really where the target is located? We don't know. But didn't it say that it was in Seattle? Yeah, it said in Seattle. But is this target really, is the server really in Seattle? We don't know. Okay? The only thing that you can say geographically, based on the Whois information, oh, it's in Seattle. But is that accurate? I don't know. Okay. So Whois is valuable to get a lot of basic information, but Whois does not give you anything back with things like open port, software that's running, more details about the target. It doesn't do that. It doesn't even tell you if the target is even up or running or not. Now, I mean, there's a whole range of IP addresses in AWS. It doesn't mean that every single IP address is actually up and running at the moment. Now, we want to answer that basic question next. Let's talk about, is a target even up and running at the moment? One of the most important diagnostic tools in computer land that is built into every single system, whether you're on Windows, Mac, Linux, it doesn't matter. There's a very simple diagnostic tool that actually will determine if a computer is even dead or alive, up or running. Okay, and what tool is that? Does anyone have a wild guess what tool I am thinking of? I think a whole bunch of you a lot of people may have used this before. Is there a tool that actually can check whether a computer, yeah. Code runner, you actually win. It's ping. So what in the world is ping? Ping is better known as, Tundra said ping. Here's what ping is. Ping is is what it is, and it is a very rudimentary networking utility. The whole point of ping is just to actually see if a computer is up or down. Okay? Now, that's the most common use of ping. The whole ping goes by a more formal name, okay? Ping is better known as the Internet Control Message Protocol, ICMP. ICMP, hear me out, is layer 3 on the OSI model. I repeat, ICMP, okay, or ping, which powers ping, a ping packet is layer 3 of the OSI model, the network layer. That means the only two important data of a ping packet is the source and destination IP address, and that's it. Okay? Here it is. ICMP differs from the transport protocols such as TCP and UDP in that it is not typically used to exchange data between systems, nor is it regularly employed by end-user network applications. Okay. The whole idea of ping is based off of the idea of submarine sonars. How does a submarine sonar actually work? Anyone know? Anyone ever play Grand Theft Auto before? Chinatown Wars? Great game. And actually, there's a quest in the game that actually has to do with sonars and radars, bouncing sound. That's exactly what it is. The way that ping works is exactly like a sonar, bouncing sound. Okay? So think of it this way. When you're in a submarine, and you want to check if there are objects in front of you, you would send an ping or an echo. Now, if you send an echo out, and then of course you get nothing bouncing back to you, that means there's nothing ahead. However, if you send a ping or an echo request and you send something out, and then all of a sudden it hits something and bounces back, you get a pong or a reply back. So if you know how submarine sonars work, it ping, ping, and then all of you pong, pong. That means you hit something. When you get the pong, that means you hit something. Could be a rock, could be another submarine, could be another, I don't know. But that means there's something ahead. And that's how ping works. Okay, exactly how ping works. Ping sends a echo out there on the internet to the target, and if the target actually exists, it'll send a pong back or reply. Okay? So the ping utility uses the ICMP's mandatory echo request datagram, yada yada yada. Okay. So here is how ping works. Okay? So I am going to, I am also going to use my friend Wireshark. I'm going to fire up Wireshark as well. And I'm going to capture on Ethernet. I'm on Ethernet. Hello. Now, because we're streaming right now on Twitch, you can see my local IP address. And I'm going to stop right here. You may be wondering, is 52.233.227.158 the Twitch IP address? Where's it fucking Microsoft? What the hell am I using on Microsoft that's sending me? What the hell? 52.223. Did I get this right? 52.2. Oh, 223. That's okay. 223. That's why the little details matter. There you go. Now it's Twitch. One tiny error. One tiny mishap. Yep. That's a Twitch IP address. Okay. Does it also work for enterprise IP address? Perhaps. Sometimes it does. I mean, it does. Okay. It can. Does it also work for enterprise IP addresses? And the answer is it depends. And you'll understand why I said it depends. I gotta be very careful with what I say about that because of something that you will see next week. Because unfortunately, ping for years have been abused. You may not, okay, so if you want to follow along now, maybe you can do so. Okay? I only want to show ICMP packets which are ping. Who the fuck is this? Is this the beers on the wall thing again? Okay, this is my own network. Okay. What the fuck is it? Why is who's sending me bottles of beers on the wall? Why do I get that? Anyway, so I'm going to clear the screen now, and I'm going to do a ping 18.116.87.199. So I'm going to send a, okay, so here we, oh, that's not good. Really? Oh, no. Uh-oh, that ain't good. Did I get the right IP address? Yeah, I typed in everything correctly. Hold on. No, that's not good. Can't ping to this device. Really? Oh, that's not good. That's not good at all. Well, anyway, so this is not necessarily a bad thing. Okay, now I can tell you, if you do a ping to I know a computer on my home network that works, 192.168.1.18. This I know this computer is up and running. You'll get a response like that. And you can see, wait a minute, why is this not working? It should be I'm an idiot. Continue without saving. Here we go. So if I actually do ping, now here you go. You can see the echo reply, echo reply, echo reply, echo reply, echo reply. I didn't actually record any packet. I'm an idiot. And I'm going to hit Control C. And now you can actually see, the pings that are going between 192.168.1. My computer at 237 to 118. Who the hell is 220? Who the hell is 220 on my network at home? Now, if I actually do a ping of 18.116, oh boy. I'm going to stop here. Here, I get a request, but I never get a reply back. Yeah, I never get a reply back. I get a reply back from, I don't actually know who 237 on my network is. I don't know who 237 on this idiot network is. I don't know who that is. I had to figure that out at the end of the class. But who's sending me beers on the bottle on the wall on my home network? Okay. Can you DDoS something? Okay. Oh God. Well, come on. Can you DDoS someone with ping? And the answer is yes, you can. And unfortunately, this is the reason why a lot of systems turn off ping. That is the topic of conversation next Tuesday. Same happened here. So, wait a minute, Booker Portal says so it's offline. The answer is no. Okay, so you have two problems with ping. While ping is the tool that actually you can check if your computer is online or offline or not. It may not be accurate. The problem with ping is there's two serious problems with ping. Ping can only, remember, ping is on layer 3 of the OSI model. There's no concept of ports, data, or whatever. You cannot ping a port. I repeat, you cannot ping a port. You cannot ping a port. Cannot ping ports. The reason is that ports are on layer 4 of the OSI model, like transmission control protocol. So you can't get information like port numbers, you know, device type, operating systems. You can't get that information. The only thing that you can do with ping is the target even up and running at the moment? However, the other problem with ping is, as we have seen, the big problem with ping is a lot of systems now turn off ping. They don't even respond to pings. Because, as you will see next week, ping has been abused for years. This is Kaban's question. Can you DDoS someone with ping? And the answer is you sure can. For, years and years ago, it was the hot thing. Now, they turned it off. And here's the other thing, and that actually gets a book of portals. The problem with ping is that it is not damn accurate at times, especially if so many systems just turn the damn thing off, just turn off responding to pings. But ping is there, generally speaking, to diagnose if systems are up and running. Like, for example, here, in this case, I can see that there is a machine at 192.168.1.237 on my computer, my home network, that is up and running. What this machine is, I don't know. We'll do that later. So, that's ping. The next tool I want to introduce to you is the tool that is the Swiss Army knife. Okay, we want to do a lot more than just checking if a computer is up and running. Can we check for open ports? Can we check for what software is running, firewalls, and all that stuff? Can we actually go a step up? And the answer is yes. I want to introduce you to a tool called Netcat. Okay? Netcat. Netcat. Let's go to the Wikipedia definition of Netcat. Netcat is built into most computer systems, Mac OS and Linux. Windows is like there's something else. Netcat is a command with two letters, NC. So what it is called the Swiss Army knife of the internet, because you can use Netcat to open connection, read connections using TCP and UDP. So yes, you can use Netcat to do to check what ports are open. Okay? You can do Netcat to do all kind of crazy shit, such as like file sharing, even malware as well. Okay? Well, here is the deal. So how you use Netcat? Let's do a man NC. NC, arbitrate TCP and UDP connections and listens. The Netcat utility is used for just about anything under the sun involving TCP or UDP. It can open up TCP connections and UDP packets, yada yada yada. So you can use Netcat for like proxying networks like shell scripts, much more. So how you use Netcat is really simple. NC, the target IP address in this case is 18.116.87.199. Hey, give me your favorite port number. Give me your favorite port number. We'll get to Nmap next. Actually, book a portal. We'll get to Nmap next. The reason why we're going to do this first, why we do Netcat first, is we do it the hard way. You understand the pros and cons of certain tools. You will be using Netcat on lab number 3, by the way. Okay, 666. Okay, let's do 666 first. So Netcat 18.116.87.199, port 666. So it's just Netcat, source IP address, destination port number. I mean the destination port. Let's see what happened. Well, we got nothing. We got nothing. Okay. Alright, what about 80? Yeah, that's correct, Tam Wild, is that Linux, Netcat, and BSD are a little bit different. What about 80? The fuck? Okay. Wait a minute. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, let me try type in get. We got something. Alright, give me another port number. 25. We got getting nothing. Nothing. How about 22? Yeah, well, hold up for a second. Hold up. 55. Okay, we can play this game all day with this million monkey thing. Alright, so why do some ports not work? That's a good question because they're all turned off. Some ports are open though. So here, let me see if I can get the damn cheat sheet. Ah, here it is, the Netcat cheat sheet. Published by my friend, the SANS Institute. Let's take a look. Okay, let's take a SANS Institute. SANS Institute give world-class cybersecurity boot camp trainings. I'm an alum of SANS Institute. And Scudis is one of the world-class practitioners. And here's the cheat sheet on Netcat. Netcat, in order to connect to it, like, the fundamental thing, like to connect to a port, like what we've been doing, is Netcat, NC. Oops, hold on. Let me see if I can blow this up. There it is. To connect to a port, which means that you can tell if the port and the IP address is up or not. Netcat NC space target IP address space port number. That's it. What this is connect to an arbitrary port at IP address. Yeah, there it is. If you want to build something called a listener, is NC space minus little l minus lowercase l space minus lowercase p, and then a port number. And what this is going to create something called a listener. A listener, for example, it listens for connection. So you can connect to that port. So let's say, for example, if you want to open up port 666 on your computer and some people can connect to it, you create a listener on the system at NC space minus lowercase l space minus lowercase p and then space 666. Okay? Both the client and the listener takes input from standard in and send data received from network to standard out. Okay, cool. Okay. I Netcat at the target of port 80 and it just freezes. That's correct. Yes. Yes. Just hit the enter key or just type in yep, that's supposed to be the way. So if you do NC space 18.116.87.199 space 80 and you hit the enter key, and then you just type in something like, well, let's use proper HTTP verb like post, and then space that the route, then you get bad request. Okay, we'll get to that more a little bit later. But instead of just doing the million monkey approach, you can do file transfer with Netcat, TCP port scanner. This is what we're looking for. Instead of just entering all the damn port numbers in the world, here is how you do how you actually use Netcat as a port scanner. Port scan an IP address. NC space, let me do this out. Let's clear the screen. NC space minus lowercase v space minus lowercase n space minus lowercase z space minus lowercase w1 space IP address is 18.116.87.199. And then you have a list of the start port and end port. I'm just going to go from, what does it say? Start port to end port. So I'm going to go, let's go to 10 to 1,000. Now, before I hit the enter key, what it is going to attempt to connect to each port in the range from end port to start port. So we're going to go reverse on the IP address, the target IP address, running verbosely, not resolving names without sending any data. And this is the important one, waiting no more than 1 second for a connection to a port occur. All right, let's see what happens if I hit the enter key. Ready? Well, that sucks. No, it's not bringing back anything. That's a weird one. What happened if I do it on my home network computer at 192.168.1.18? That's slow as hell. Now you know there's a problem with Netcat. It's okay. Really slow. Let's go back up and let's do what Bob, Virginia actually says. Okay, Bob, let's see what happens. I'm getting punchy today. This is sad. Well, anyway. So, Netcat can be pretty laborious, and it's also slow. But Netcat is a jack of all trades. You can actually make connections to IP addresses and ports. What is the Ooh, I like that one, King. What is the point of connecting to ports? To understand what that port is doing. It may be giving you good stuff back. Okay, what is the point of connecting the port? The connecting the ports is connecting the port can also can help you understand what the software that the target is running, or the target at that port number may be giving you some good stuff back. Oh, no, 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 no. Tom says no. Can there be two connections to a port at the same time? Oh, two connections to a port. Many people can actually make a connection to the port, but you cannot have two different services running on a port number. So you cannot have an FTP server and a web server running on port 80 at the same time. Many people can connect to from the outside, can connect to a port at the same time, but you cannot have multiple services running at the same port. So I hope I actually answered your question, Tom. Okay. But you are going to use Netcat you should use Netcat, and you will use Netcat to understand what a port is doing on a particular target. I'll give you that hint. Alright, so here's the thing about Netcat. I mean, you can write a port scanner with Netcat, but it's not the greatest. Alright, so here's the deal. Let's talk about, now we can understand. Well, one of the most famous and most widely used tools in cybersecurity. Now you know the problem with Netcat. Netcat as a port scanner, well, slow. It works, but it's not the greatest. Is there a better way to do port scanning against a target? And the answer is, this is where the network mapper comes into play. I want to introduce you to one of the most important tools in cybersecurity, along with Wireshark, better known as the network mapper. Better known as someone said earlier, Booker Portal says, Nmap. Nmap, the network mapper, was written by my friend Fyodor. Yes, want to give a shout out to Fyodor. Nmap.org. Nmap.org. Oops. Yes. The Network Mapper. Network Mapper is free and open source, but you have to install it on your own computer. Now, on Mac OS land, which I am on, you know, the easiest way to install any software is to use Homebrew, so you do like brew, install, Nmap. And Nmap is one of those tools I install on the command line whenever I get a new machine. You'll see why. Nmap is already installed on this computer. Brew install Nmap. Nmap is free, open source. So many systems have it. The Network Mapper. What is it? Nmap. Oh. Nmap, what it is a network scanner. Nmap is used to discover hosts and services on a computer network by sending packets and analyzing the response. That's what it is. It's written in C, written in 2007, so now 27 years old. 2 years ago was the 25th birthday. Yeah, that was fun. Nmap is free and open source and also platform independent. It's also very famous. So Nmap has been used in many movies. Let's take a look. Nmap has been in many movies. And probably the most famous of all these movies that Nmap is in is The Matrix Reloaded. I remember that in the movie theater back in the ye good old days. Ocean 8. Nmap has always been in Snowden, Dread, Asylum, Fantastic Four, Who Am I? No System is Safe. The Bourne Ultimatum. Die Hard 4. Die Hard is a Christmas movie, everyone. The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. G.I. Joe Retaliation. Is this the one with The Rock? The Listening. Justice League Doom. Abduction. Extracted. I've never seen any of these. Battle Royale. Broken Saint. I don't know what these are like. I've never seen these. Bloody Monday. Never seen these before. Now, Nmap is pretty famous. Never forget that when it was in The Matrix Reloaded. Okay, how Nmap works at the most rudimentary level, it's kind of simple. I'm going to do a clear now. You know that I installed Nmap on my Mac, and it says Nmap is already installed. Man, Nmap. Nmap is a network exploration tool and security/port scanner. Another reason why you want to use to look for ports, and I remember like for years at Tufts, the IT team used to run like a wide, university-wide port scan of the entire Tufts network to see if anyone was running illegal software, like torrent and servers for hosting illegal movies and download and stuff. Yeah, so Nmap, like, again, I have to say this like a billion times, any security tool can be used for good and bad. I repeat, any security tool can be used for good and bad. But Nmap, unlike Netcat, is largely for like for port scanning, network scanning, and it works pretty damn fast. So how you use Nmap is, well, the problem is Nmap can be pretty. There's a lot of flags, a lot of options. Like there's a book on Nmap. Actually, this is the one that we've been. This is the Nmap book, and it's wonderful, but it's a lot. The most rudimentary way to use Nmap is just Nmap and then the target IP address. And it should work relatively quickly. Nmap should have been, yeah, Nmap does everything. It should have been in Dr. Robot. Should have been. Let's see how long this one will take. I'm gonna run another Nmap scan just, well, it's going to take a bit. I mean, God forbid if so many computers are banging at this target at the same. This is why sometimes I hate live demos on Twitch, because if everyone is like banging away at the machine, it's like, oh shit, like, oh, that's not a good thing. When I do an Nmap scan on 192.168.1.18 on my home network, boom, I get a result back. Okay, so it was done in the one. Oh, 1 second. Hold on. Hey, I got it. 42 seconds. Okay, I got a result in 42 seconds on the target 18.116.87.199. So now, hold up for a second. Hold up. You got a pretty quick response. Interesting. You probably fucked it up for me, Tundra. You probably messed it up for me, but that's okay. Hold up for a second. Okay, we got two Nmap results. One for my home. One for my. Yeah, let's close this one out. Let's use this one. So this has been a target we've been talking about this whole time at 18.116.87.199. So now we have a general idea. Once if you get a result back, and we got a result back in 43 seconds, that means the target is up and running for sure. For sure. Open ports? Yeah, we solved that. Yeah, there are open ports. Any firewalls? Well, we'll get to that in a few moments. We'll talk about the device type operating system. We'll talk about that too. Yeah, so for some people probably got a quicker result, but here's the thing: not everyone's gonna get the result at the same time. Some people may have gotten a second. I got mine in 43 seconds, but the result should be close to the same. So here's the Nmap scan report for 18.116.87.199. Yes, this is an AWS server computer which I created. Now notice the results. Not shown, 997 filtered TCP port, no response. That's okay, but we don't care about that. The result that we really care about is this stuff right here. It's just going to show a table of the port number, the state, and the service. The port number is just a port number. We have 22 SSH, 80 is HTTP, that means a web server, but we also see 443, that's HTTP service, but the state is closed. So what does this all mean? So I'm going to pull up the Nmap document. Port scanning basics. Let's understand port scanning basics. All right, so let's take a look at this result. 22 is open SSH. 80 is open HTTP. 443 is closed HTTPS. Let's understand what open and closed are. Port scanning basics. Here it is. There are only 6 states: open, closed, filtered, unfiltered, open or filtered, or closed or filtered. The most important one by far and away is open. If you see an open port, that's what we care about. An application is actively accepting TCP connection, UDP datagram, or SCTP association on this port. Finding these is often the primary goal of port scanning. Security-minded people know that each open port is an avenue for attack. Attackers and pen testers want to exploit the open ports, while administrators try to close or protect them with firewalls without thwarting legitimate users. Open ports are also interesting for non-security scans because they also show what services available for use on the network. So what we really care about if the state is open. We see open ports, it's open season for hunting. Closed. A closed port is accessible, but there is no application listening on it. They can be helpful in showing that a host is up on an IP address and as part of operating system detection. Because closed ports are reachable, it may be worth scanning later in case something opens. So if it's closed, it's like, okay, it's good to know, but we don't care. Let's move on. Okay? Administrators may also want to block such ports with a firewall. Okay, yeah. So here there's only one closed port, and that is HTTPS. So there's no HTTPS running on this target. Filtered, well, filtered means an Nmap cannot determine whether the port is open because packet filtering prevents its probe from reaching the port. The filtering could be from a dedicated firewall device. Okay. The port frustrate attackers because they provide so little information. Unfiltered state also mean a port is accessible, but Nmap cannot determine whether it's closed or not, or open. Open filter, open or filtered, closed or filtered is like. So to make a long story short, what we really care about is open ports. So if you're opening a web browser on your computer, does it automatically open to the generally speaking is yes. So now here is the question. If you now see this Nmap result, you see port 80 is open and have an HTTP service, what can you do? Now you see the Nmap result, you see that the HTTP service is open on port 80, what can you do? Come on. Flamingo, what can you do? What do you think you're going to do next? All you can do, now you know that, hey, the target has HTTP running. You can fire up your favorite web browser. You can do that. Natural Season naturally can said that you can connect to port 8, which we did, by the way. Which we did. Yeah, I mean that's it. Okay, you can also do Wireshark. Yes, so now you know that the port number is open. You can make a connection to it. The most one way is use Netcat, type in the IP address, base port 80 there. Or of course you fire up your favorite web browser because it will make HTTP and HTTPS connection automatically under the hood. Bam, and that's your website. Okay, you see that a target has HTTP open in this case. You just fire up your favorite web browser because web browsers talk HTTP and HTTPS, and it just does the work for you. So yes, you actually, when web browsers by default, generally speaking, is when you type in an IP address, it will by default go to port 80 HTTP on the IP address, on the target IP. A lot of web browsers now are configured where it will try to do HTTPS first because that's a more secure version. Not all the time. So if I do HTTPS, however, colon / 18.116.87.199, this isn't going to work. And the reason why HTTPS doesn't work, I did not set up HTTPS on this target yet. Hey, Scorpion. Scorpion, yes. I'm so sorry about the Texas Longhorns. Yes. And you know, Scorpion, you know this is my favorite picture. And you also, and everyone also knows that I am purveyor. You also know I'm a purveyor of blackmail material. Yep. So HTTPS is not going to work because I did not configure it to work on this system. HTTP does, though. So if you go to HTTPS on a web browser, it's going to default to 4443 all the time. By default, everyone knows that port 80 is HTTP. Yes. But yeah. So the only service that is on here is a web server at port 80, HTTP, not HTTPS. I didn't set it up to do HTTPS yet. Can you SSH? Yeah, I'm gonna SSH Scorpion. Yeah, you can do it. At 18.116.87.199. Ooh, yep, there it is. You can make a neck. Yeah, are you sure you want to continue? Yeah, why not? Aw, permission denied. So if Scorpion wants to actually try to break into the target, you can do stuff like that and try to guess the password. So once the HTTPS is closed, even though it exists, it will default to HTTP. Yeah, let me see. I'm gonna close out. Hold on. I'm gonna close this out. I'm gonna reopen a Firefox. If I type in the I'm gonna just type in the IP address 18. Take a look. You ready? So I'm gonna actually help Tundra out here. I'm just gonna type in the IP address. Let's see what happens. I'm gonna hit the enter key. Yeah, it's gonna default to 80. Yeah, it's gonna find 80. So 8443 ain't gonna work, but 80 will. But just like as a fallback. Yep. All right. So wait a minute. How does Nmap really work? All right, this is nice, but how does Nmap really work? Oh, by the way, are there any firewalls? Let's talk about device type operating system. Let's get to that one now. Let's get to these. Let's kill to these two. Device type and what software is the target running. Now, if you do an man Nmap, look at this. You can see there's a lot of flags in Nmap, but one of the flags is the only argument Nmap argument using is like a -A to enable OS inversion detection, script scanning, and traceroute. Ooh. -T4 for faster execution. Ooh. Let's do that. Let's go to Nmap -A -T4 18 dot 116 .87.199. This could take a bit. So essentially, we only had to figure out which ports are open. Yes, and what ports are, yeah, absolutely. And what services we're running on it. That's it. And if it's an unencrypted service, like we can access it, yep, that's all you got to do. You got it. That's exactly what Tom_Ion. You give everything that you said. Yep, that's it. Okay, thanks, bye. Nothing else. This could take a bit. While this is running, I'm going to go to a fallback. This is just a target. This is on my home lab. It's just a whole bunch of Docker containers. Yes, you can do multiple Nmap scans, but be careful. Oh, shit. There it is. Look at this result. Oh, yeah, we got the result back. Okay, so here we go. This is for the target. Nmap -A -T4. -A is to enable operating system detection and software version detection. So now you notice that the results are a little bit more elaborate. Port 22, you know, is SSH, is open, but it is using the software OpenSSH 9.6.P1 Ubuntu. Port 80, as you know, is HTTP and is using Nginx as a web server software, version 1.2.4 Ubuntu. Service info, the operating system, Linux file. There you go. Because it slows it down, yeah. Yeah, why be careful, Flamingo? Yeah, it's exactly that reason. Slows it down. You know, there's some it does take, although Nmap is relatively fast, you run too many Nmap scans on your computer, it's just like, it takes a lot more resources. Yeah. So the -A and the -T4 flag, again. -A and -T4 flag, if you, here it is. -A, the -A to enable operating system and version detection, script scanning and traceroute, and -T4 for faster execution, and then the host name. That's what it is. Yeah, so yeah, I hate doing multiple Nmap scans because it's like, I just only want one. Yeah, it's like so much going on in a network card. But as you can see here now, you can see, well, we know there's a Linux system. If you actually infer from the results above, this is sure how Ubuntu Linux is being used. Now, what other information can you infer from once you get software versions? You see that the web server is using Nginx version 1.2.1.224.0. Unfortunately, SSH is always like everyone, like people generally speaking, people know that SSH is enabled. You know, you can change the port number for SSH for like 2323, but Nmap will find it out. Like everyone knows port 22 is SSH. I mean, you really quote unquote can't hide from the report. Yeah, this is the thing. Why software versions are so important is you can see if the software is out of date. Look up what vulnerabilities those versions have. That's what it is. That's why, like checking for open ports and open software, um, it becomes really important. Yeah, it's really important because it's like, oh, if someone is using like a beta version, like, hey, I think we're gonna see this soon. Is if someone is using like a really old version of a web-based AI agent and didn't update it for 2 years, like, now you get the idea. That's not good. What type of what software is that? We already answered that. That the operating system, we answered that. Is there any firewall? I don't think so. It would have said that it would have a firewall. Is this a real IP address or a decoy? I guess it's both because you got the Kermit thing. So it's a real IP address for sure. Also, is a target even worth it? Probably not. That's all. Alright. Hey, Conda, how are ya? Yeah, SSH is secure and encrypted, but it doesn't mean that it is, like, hidden from the world. I mean, once you have, so here's, we actually had a conversation with this mommy on the on Discord. You know, if you have a computer at home and you want to open it up to like where, like say for example, you're traveling or you're working, you want to SSH into your home a computer, you can do that. I mean, you just have to. One way is like the most important thing you do is don't allow for username and password authentication. You turn that off. You have to authenticate by way of a security key or SSH key. Okay. So the next thing that we gotta mention is, and this is really important. So now we did an Nmap scan with operating system and software detection. We did that. Here it is. Nmap minus capital A minus capital T4 is really valuable. But how does Nmap actually work? How does Nmap actually work under the hood? And that's our friend Kermit Goatsy. Port scanning techniques. This you gotta know. This you have to know. You have to know this. Now here's the deal. The one thing is, I'm surprised that no one have actually, if there was a firewall, okay, hold up. If there was a firewall, would we be able to use Nmap? The answer is, we'll get to that in a few moments. The answer is yes. What would be different with a firewall? The result. Okay? So hold on, and Tom underscore Ion asked a very good question, a series of really good questions. That, what if this target IP address had a firewall? And also, which I'm surprised that no one has ever asked, can you do an Nmap scan of any computer in the world that you want? Well, yeah, I mean, there are companies, and you know who they are, that does a complete Nmap scan of the entire internet like every second. Or glorified Nmap scan, something like that, of the entire internet. Yeah, you can do it. You can do a port scan of any computer in the world, but will you get caught? Will they actually record your like your IP address? Probably. And here's why. If someone is doing a port scan against my target server, which by the way, if you put a server on, let's say AWS on the cloud, they're gonna be connection from randos like every second. Okay? I mean, people are trying to port scan like the entire AWS space and of course the entire internet like every second. That stuff is very common. So you may be curious how Nmap actually works under the hood. So I want to read this paragraph to you, which is very important. As a novice, like if you're interested in automotive repair, like you can struggle for hours trying to fit your rudimentary tools, your hammer, your wrench to the task at hand. When I fail miserably and tow my jalopy to a real mechanic, he invariably fishes around in a huge tool chest until pulling out the perfect gizmo, which makes the job effortless. The art of port scanning is very similar. Experts understand that the dozen scanning techniques and choose the appropriate one or combination of for a given task. Inexperienced users and script kiddies, on the other hand, try to solve every problem with the default sync scan. So now you know how Nmap works by default, the TCP sync scan. Okay, since Nmap is free, the only barrier to port scanning is mastery. Let's look at the TCP sync scan. So if you don't put any flags in, sync scan is the default and most popular scan option for very good reason. It can be performed quickly, scanning thousands of ports per second on a fast network, not hampered by restrictive firewall. It is also relatively unobtrusive, stealthy, since it never completes TCP connections. Remember the TCP three-way handshake, sync, ACK, and ACK. The sync scan works against any compliant TCP stack rather depending on idiosyncrasies on specific platforms such as Fin, Null, Christmas tree scan, which we'll get to in a few moments. Okay? This technique is often referred to as half-open scanning because you don't do the full TCP handshake connection. You send a sync packet as you were going to open a real connection, then wait for a response. A sync ACK indicates that the port is listening, while an RST, get out of here, indicates that non-listener, go away. Okay? If no response is received after the several transmission, the port is marked as filtered. Bam. So here we are. I'm going to open up Wireshark again. Are you an expert? No. Hell no. Hell no. No one's an expert. It's the worst word in the world that you can use. So I'm actually going to start recording traffic again, but this time I'm only going to see packets with 18.116.87.199. Where the fuck is a ping going here on this machine? Anyway, so now watch what happens when I clear the screen. I try to do a very basic Nmap scan of 18.116.87.199. Oh, boop. Boom, bing. Yeah, that's how Nmap works under the hood. You can see the Nmap scan now running. Ding, stop. 42 seconds, 20, 80, 443. Let's take a look at the Nmap results. So as you can see, there's a whole bunch of sync packets sent. As you can see, port 80. Sync, ACK, ACK. Where are all the ACKs? All the ACKs, well, because the ports are not running, there's no ACK. 80 again. Yeah, all syncs. Whole bunch of syncs. There you go, 80. Why is it doing 80 like multiple times? What the hell? So all sync. So if you get an ACK, if you get an ACK back, that means the port is up. That means in this case port 80. What's the port 20? It doesn't. Where the hell is 20? That's weird. Can we do that? Nope. All right. Interesting. All right. So it's just a whole bunch of sync packets, but that makes sense because, there's nothing at port 8652. No. Port 80 is open. So that's how Nmap looks like under the hood. It's just a sync scan, TCP sync. Doesn't complete the handshake. Yeah, there were a couple of Axford ports that are open. Okay, but wait a minute. Wait. So I want to go back up for a second, and I was like, Tom_Ion said, if there was a firewall, would we have been able to use Nmap? What would be different with a firewall? Okay. So TCP sync scan is the default if you don't do any flags. Now, imagine if there was a target that has a firewall. If there was a target that has a firewall, okay, if, let's say, you found a target with a firewall, what you could do is this series of scans. There are 3 of my favorite scans because they're called stealthy scans. Stealthy scan. What does stealthy mean? Maybe this is where I can actually use ChatGPT. Okay? Well, let's say stealth scans. For network administrators and professionals, few tools can actually have the depth of Nmap. Okay? We'll unpack. No, I don't want to get money. Get out. Get out! We will unpack the stealth capabilities of Nmap. Stealth means you go under the hood. Stealth scanning refers to probing network host ports and services while avoiding detection by firewalls, intrusion detection, or other defensive measures. Okay, this looks good. This looks good for you. Avoiding trigger alerts, yada, yada, yada. We're a little out of time. Okay, there's a sync scan that is done, but the most famous ones are a trio of scans called No Scan, Fin Scan, and Christmas Tree Scans. So what it does is, if you're actually trying to scan a target with a firewall, or if you want to go under the hood, you can actually use one of these 3 scans. Now, here's the thing. Remember the TCP sync scan when you actually, if there's nothing available, okay, here it is. Here's the loophole. It says, if the destination port state is closed, an incoming segment not containing a RST causes a RST to be sent in the response. This is the key point here. If you do one of these, okay, so TCP, no, fin, and Christmas tree scans do not use sync, syncac, or ACK at all. They use either no flag, just a fin flag, or fin, urge, and push flags. As you can see, there's a common pattern as none of these use sync, syncac, or ACK flags. That is, you're unlikely to get here, but if you do, drop the segment and return. So a no scan does not set any flags. Fin scan is just a fin bit, and Christmas tree scan just set fin, push, and urge. You notice all 3 of these scans don't have a fin, don't have an ACK, don't have a sync, or don't have an ACK, and no ACK at all. So it's like kind of an untraditional scan. So I'll show you how you run one. In the interest of time, you do need sudo for these scans. So I do sudo nmap minus lowercase s, lowercase f, 192.168.1.18. And I hit the enter key, and it should take a few moments. And now you notice something very interesting with this result. You can see that the results now are open or filtered. And this is the way how you can actually bypass, like, if the target is running a firewall, you can maybe bypass the firewall using fin, push, fin scan, no scan, or Christmas tree scan. Same thing with the no scan. The state is going to be open or filtered. So it's like, yeah, it's probably open. Not 100%. Christmas tree, same result. So in total, what information do we take up from this target? This target, the 192.168.1.18 target, yeah, it most likely have port numbers 22, 3000, 5001, 7777. Yeah, 8000, 8080 open in this 192.168.1.18 target. Yeah. So if you want to take a look how the Nmap, the Wireshark packet looks under the hood, so here's an example of let's say no scan. Where is it? Here is no scan. My computer is 192. Oh, here it is. 192.168.1.215 to target 192.168.1.218. And you can see there's a lot of RST-ACK. In this case, port 43 is probably down, probably not open. 5900, probably not open. But port 80, I don't see an RST-ACK. So in this case, no scan. Hey, probably detected that there's a web server running on this target. If you see a whole bunch of RST-ACKs for a no scan that port is probably, no, go away. Nothing here. Nothing to look at. If you don't see an RST-ACK back, it's like, maybe there's something here. Okay, Christmas tree scan, fin scan. Let's go fin scan, F-I-N. Fin scan, you can see a whole bunch of, here. 192.168.1.218 is the source. Destination is 192.168.1.215 at port 199. So 215 is the destination. Yep. Nope. 80 is probably open. But fin and RSTAC, no. Nah. 8080 is probably, no, go away. 8888, go away. Port 22, ooh. No RST, no ACK coming back. Probably 22 is open. Christmas tree scan, same thing. But you can notice that the packets now you see fin, push, urge. Oh, what in total did we take away from that target? From this target. That one, there was only a web server and an SSH server, that's it. In total, what did we take away from the server? It's just a web server. It just has a website, and you can SSH into it. From Amazon AWS. That's it. Nothing valuable. But it's a good example. However, maybe that's not necessarily the case for your Lab 3 target. Lab 3. You have a real target to work with. Now, we do not have any time left, but that's okay. Maybe I can tell you in gloss right now that geographical country information, you may want to actually use something called Shodan. Shodan is a search engine for the Internet of Everything. All you need to do to use Shodan, all you just need to do is to type in an IP address for search. Ideally, you want to log in first. And it actually does, may give you back some information. I think I have to log in. Nope, no result found yet. No, 199, you idiot. Oh, it did. Look at that. Shodan actually can say, oh, here it is. It's actually, ooh, it's in Columbus. Columbus, Ohio? Maybe. And you can see it may even have port 80 open. Hey, this looks like our Nmap result, right? Last updated in January 27, 2025? Maybe. However, I cannot talk too much about Shodan on Twitch because I don't want to get banned. With that said, more next Tuesday. Yes. Thanks all. I covered everything. Although we did go over, holy shit, 5 minutes. Thanks all. Yeah. Yeah, you have enough information to do the lab. Yeah. Yeah, you can do lab number 3 now. Enjoy. I'm gonna stop streaming.